Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Experience Kills. I'm your host Ben and joining me today is Leah.
Hello.
Leah, are you looking forward to having a little trip away, a break from the rat race and let's get back to our roots and just relax by the lake? Does that sound nice?
That sounds amazing. I could do that right now, actually.
That does sound pretty good, doesn't it? It does sound appealing. And in many ways, Lake by Gamius and Whitethorn Games. Gamius, who are based in the Netherlands. And I love looking at, indie games from all around the world. And that's one of the things that's brilliant about gaming. You really get to delve into the mindsets of different people. And they bring us the lake, or not, I keep wanting to call it the lake. It's just Lake. And this is weird because I said they're from the Netherlands, but this is very much a slice of Americana. So it's a game set in the 80s about a woman who's been working in software, and her dad and mum and dad have gone on holiday, and dad's like, well, I never go on holiday, but can you come back to the old family home, the old family town, and just check out my job and look after my job for a while, which is being a postman in this small quaint town in a beautiful part of nondescript America in the 80s. And basically it's just getting away from a busy hustle bustle life and doing the simple job and having a chat with the locals and getting involved with their lives a bit and just immersing yourself in this small town where you grew up. And the kind of drama, I say drama with a small d, as it were, that can bring about. And that's this game. And frankly, it's kind of a holiday in itself. That's the vibe I got from it, yeah.
It sounds lovely. It's just the concept of going back to do someone else's job. I mean, just the paperwork alone, my God.
Yeah, I think the difference here is it's the 80s and, Dad's had the job as a postman in this small town for forever, and therefore they inherently trust you, and it's not like you're going to have to do lots of, exams or prove who you are or prove your skills. You're just going around putting post boxes and handing out parcels, and while you're doing it, having a chat to your old friends and your old acquaintances and people you remember from when you were a kid and stuff. And it's really nice. It's a strange game because there's not a lot of high stakes and there's not a lot of big D drama and big D excitement. It's just a nice, chilled, relaxing task, i.e. doing the post run, and then you get this character moments and the character development, and you get to know your character, who's this young woman, and then you get to know all of her old friends from high school, and what are they up to now. It's been a really long time since you went home. You got out, you're one of the few people to escape the small town and actually get out to the big city and make something of yourself, and you've been pulled back in. So there's all that kind of slightly awkward interactions that you'd imagine coming from that, and you get some nice dialogue choices. You can really create your character the way you want. There's not like Paragon Renegade. You're not going to go full arsehole here, but you can take it to you could be more abrupt, or you could be a bit more snarky, or you can be really sweet and really understanding and nice about everything. And you get to know people. I'll give you one example. In my journeys around in my first few days back at the lake, you're there for 2 weeks, and in my first few days I remember getting to know the local cat lady. She had loads of cats and stuff, and you was like, oh yeah, still got loads of cats, ha ha ha. I remember that from when I was a kid. But then she called, you go around and then, emergency, one of my cats is really sick, help me, can you get him to the vets because I don't have a car? And you do that for her, and you start forging these relationships and building these connections and getting to know these people. And it's just a really nice break from the more kind of save the universe, save the galaxy, everything's crap, everything's destroyed, or typical tropes that you might find in video games. And sometimes the slice of life games are a real interesting sort of subgenre that we're starting to see grow in video games, because now that video games to develop are becoming more and more accessible to more and more people, a wider and wider scope for these indie games, we're getting these stories and types of fiction and that feel very personal and feel very from real life experience, and they tell you and it shows you the maturity of the whole medium. And I love that there is more to gaming than just, you know, explosions and you know, shooting and guns, and that you can just play a game where you deliver the post and get to know some people, and it was almost a virtual getaway. You know, it's really nice.
It sounds lovely. It sounds like it was really cozy.
Yeah, it kind of is. You know, every day's pretty sunny. You know, you wake up early, you go do your postal run, and you have time to do a few extra errands, and you know, maybe go off piste and just go and meet someone and talk to someone. One of the bits I absolutely love, there is a local video store, and going into the video store with all, like, they've done a great work on the artwork on this, and basically there's loads of videos and posters in there, and obviously to avoid you know, copyright infringement, they're all like homages and pastiches of the films you remember from the 80s. Like, very obviously, like, that's E.T., but they've had to call it something else, or that's, you know, I think there's a Short Circuit one in there, and I saw Batteries Not Included, like, reference, I think, as well. Like, really quite obscure stuff. But I loved that because it took me back. I remember that. I'm a child of that era. I remember video stores, and I remember that feeling of going in there, browsing and finding random stuff, and they really conveyed it in this little space. They've done a great job with the art on this, and a great job of building it out to take you back to that time period. I love that. It does feel very much of that era. I think it's got some really good music in this game as well on the radio, and not necessarily era accurate, I think it would be fair to say, but more like it's about, I think, conveying a feeling and an emotion and of a place and time, but not necessarily, you know, actual music of that era. Obviously this is a small production, there's no way they were going to get loads of licensed music to play on the radio, but no, I really like Lake. I think this is a different type of experience and a good one to fit in as like a game between big other releases. I think
something to chill out to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely chill. Yeah, definitely.
When is it? I know the era they set in. What season is it set in?
It's like summer, or it's sunny. Yeah.
Okay.
It's it could be like late spring, early summer, something like that. I think
it sounds like a cozy autumn game, but
I mean, I guess the vibe is pretty chill throughout. I don't think there's, you know, when it's the stakes ramp up, it's more like everyday stakes. You know, it's not saving the world stakes. It's much more, like I was saying, taking a cat to the vet. You know, because the things that matter to people on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
And I really dug that. I thought it was cool.
Oh, it does sound lovely. I might give that a go.
So yeah, that brings us to the end of another episode of Experience Kills. We were talking about Lake by Gamius and Whitethorn Games. Gamius from the Netherlands. It surprised me that they were from the Netherlands. It feels quite quintessentially small town America, so they've done a fantastic job with that. But then again, I guess I didn't grow up in small town America, so if it's massively wrong, how would I know? But yeah, it was a fun one, and yeah, if you've enjoyed watching this video, please give us a like and subscribe on the YouTube channel, and then go and give us a follow at Experience Kills on Twitter, and you can find me at DIYE on Twitter, and Leah, being the smart one, forgoes Twitter entirely, which I definitely respect, probably in their hopes to have that chilled, cozy experience in life, because Twitter is nothing but pain. But there you go. If you want to get away from that pain, I do recommend Lake. I really enjoyed this game, and I think it's well worth you know, jumping in your postal van and go on a journey around this beautiful environment. And that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'll see you all later. Have a good one.